I'm Michael Duarte with NBCLA, and for our second episode of Discover Your Dodgers, we're with second baseman and one of the new members of the team, Logan Forsythe. Let's get to know him a little bit. Now, Logan, you were born in Memphis, Tennessee, played your college ball at Arkansas, Pig Sooie.
That's right.
So my first question for you is, how is Southern comfort different than West Coast living, say in like a big city like San Diego or Los Angeles?
It's not too different. The traffic is definitely a different animal out here. But once you get used to it, it's like any place. You can make any place home as long as you got the people you love around you. So, my wife and son are out here, and they'll be with me for most of the season. But, our times are a little, different than other work schedules. So, we don't hit the traffic too much. But, it's a little slower down south when it comes to, time and stuff like that. And out here is a little bit fast-paced. So, I've been out here before, so I'm a little used to it.
Speaking of making a place your home, what part of the city generally did you decide to call home? And so how is the commute, since you mentioned the traffic?
Yeah, the commute for myself is probably 25 minutes, which I hear is pretty good. And I think I'm still getting to know, get my bearings a little bit around here, but I think it's the Valley area. Okay. It's a little east of the 101. It's not too far away.
Okay. Since you mentioned your wife and Trace, you guys just had, for fans that don't know, Logan just had a newborn son, Trace, so congratulations on that. I want to know, why did you come up with the name Trace, and does Trace Thompson, your teammate, think that you named him after him?
I don't think Trace knew that my son's name was Trace, but no, I'm a junior, and I think that my dad wanted the name to kind of be in the family a little bit, and so did I. So we named him John Logan III, and he couldn't go by John or Logan because those were already in the family, so we decided to come up with something a little catchy and name him Trace.
For the third. I like that. I like that. Okay, so now fans who don't know your career arc, you originally drafted by the Padres here, ironically. Then you were traded to the Tampa Bay Rays, and now obviously recently acquired by the Dodgers. The common thread in all those acquisitions is Andrew Friedman. So did you introduce him? He's always said that you were like high on his target list. Did you introduce him to his wife or something, have some blackmail or dirt on him? Why does he love you so much, and what is your relationship with Andrew like?
Andrew and I have a good relationship. I didn't know too much about Andrew until I was traded over to Tampa, and I heard that I was on his radar. He wanted to get me over there for the longest time. And, I can't say enough about Andrew. He's a family man. He's very knowledgeable in this game. He knows what he's doing. And very professional about it, and he's, like I said, we got a good relationship, and when I heard that he was trying to get me back over here once he came over to LA, it wasn't surprising, and he always told me that as well. So he usually gets what he wants, and but I'm glad to be back out here with him.
Now, we'll talk about some of those trade rumors. You had said in the past that you kind of heard whispers and saw that the Dodgers were looking to acquire a second baseman in the offseason. Obviously, there were splashy names, Brian Dozier, Ian Kinsler out there. And so when you did get the call from Tampa Bay and you asked them, have I been traded? And they said yes. Yeah. And it was you and not one of those other names. Were you surprised by that, and what was your first reaction?
I wasn't too surprised. I knew that the Dodgers were looking. I don't keep up too much with what's going on in the offseason. I like to read the little news outlets here and there and just, hear the hot topics going on. But, when they told me, I was like, I wasn't surprised, but it was kind of that mixed emotion. My wife and I had developed, some really good relationships over in Tampa. And the good thing is that we've been through a trade before. So we knew what to expect. It was just kind of a little later in the offseason and the new addition, and we knew we were in for kind of a wild spring training, a lot of moving parts. And we were selling our house at the time. So there's just a lot of stuff that kind of boiled down, but that's kind of out of the way now, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, we're having a blast.
Now, one of those relationships you formed in Tampa was veteran third baseman Evan Longoria, who famously, his reaction to the trade kind of spread around. He said he was shocked, upset, and says he doesn't know if he'll ever get over losing you. So what did you think when you first heard his reactions to that? And have you had a chance to speak to him and talk him off the ledge a little bit since then?
We keep in contact, and but with what he was saying, I know the type of player Evan is, and he wants to win. And I think with him saying that, he just kind of got to a point where he had some guys there that they could kind of maybe build around and do some things like that. But no, man, he's in good spirits. He likes the team that they have over there this year, and it's a great organization as well. But That's part of the game. That's the business of baseball. You know, you guys get traded, and yeah, I mean, we'll always be, you know, close friends and be in contact, but he's just fine.
Well, the reason I kind of brought that up was because you had always said that, you know, the key to success in this sport is listening to the veterans and adhering to their advice and stuff. I've talked in spring training to some of the veterans on this team, Clayton Kershaw, Adrian Gonzalez, about you, and they always reference Evan's words as an example, as to say, this is what kind of teammate he is when guys are saying this about him. This is what kind of guy he is when guys are saying this about him. Have you had a chance to form relationships with the veterans on this team, especially a guy like Chase Utley, who plays the same position as a World Series champion?
Yeah, and to the previous question, you know, when you hear guys say that about you, it means a lot from a player. It means that you kind of made an impact, especially, you know, kind of that teammate impact, not just what you do on the field, but, you know, the clubhouse stuff and the kind of the consistency of being the, you know, kind of same guy every day. And you know, with this team, with the veteran guys, I'm starting the kind of mesh process, you know, getting in, kind of seeing all these guys, the routine and stuff like that. And but you know what, I don't feel, you know, hesitant to say something on this team. This team's very welcoming to hearing, you know, other viewpoints, you know, other ways that people have done things, and, you know, I think that's why we're good. You know, guys do it different ways on this team, and they find a common ground, and the communication's great.
All right, last one before we get into some fan questions that they had for you. Dave Roberts was on the coaching staff in San Diego when you were there. So what kind of relationship did you have formed with him previously, and were you that much more excited knowing that he was the manager when you found out you were coming here?
Yeah, Doc and I had a really good relationship in San Diego. He was there with me the whole time I was there, and my biggest thing that I took, or that I remember, was, you know, every day we'd come out for BP, and he would be out there hitting fungos to the outfielders, and I would usually by that time be finishing up with my ground balls, and me and him would just sit there and I'd catch in for him, and we would just talk about the game. And I mean, that's where our relationship kind of kicked off, and it kind of grew from there. I mean, every time we saw each other, we'd give each other a hug, ask how the family's doing, how everybody was. And once I heard he got the managing job over here, I was proud of him, you know, and I knew that he was going to be a great manager, and it shows. I mean, his success last year and just the way he handles the team and the players, it's a guy you want to play for.
All right, well, that was Logan, guys. Get to know him. Good luck in the season. Thank you for joining us.